Every artist has a common fear of being ripped off in this music industry, and a lot of times it often comes from the gatekeepers holding out on this information that you just so desperately need to basically run the simple operation that you have. It's just basics. Now, if you knew this stuff, it would suppress your apprehension about doing business in this music industry. Because as you already know, music cannot survive solely alone without the cash, because you know there's always a point where you need some cash. And so the one thing that we do need to make us survive and help us survive in this music industry is the very thing that artists always let go of or somehow get ripped off from in the very beginning. I don't know. We're going to talk about that coming up right here on the Music Money Makeover Show. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Music Money Makeover Show. My name is Casey Graham, and there is one base item in this game that we need as an artist, producer, writer, record label, music publisher to move on, to stand on. Just a fine layer to stand on in order for us to survive. And that is intellectual property. We have to discuss that. Check it out. All right, music money makers. Artists are often unaware of their de facto record label status, meaning your default status. Many artists venture into the music world primarily to express themselves through song. This is true. They often fail to recognize the true nature of the industry they're in or their immense potential power. In reality, all recording artists act as their own record companies, hint, shouldering financial responsibilities. Another hint. Many creatives who lack business acumen fall into the trap, consequently surrendering significant portions of their future revenue early in their careers. And they do, okay? I just want you to understand that in reality, all artists are their own, not act, but they all are their own record companies. They do have to shoulder the financial responsibilities. And to be honest with you, it is going to be this way for your entire career. So nobody is technically supposed to hold your hand. It's just a lot of you recording artists out there are afraid of yourselves. You're afraid of your talent, your vision. You're afraid to try. And so you look for someone to hold your hand. But ultimately, you are the very first record label. You are your record label. And this is how the onion begins to peel and people begin to take from you. Check this out. Giving away excessive percentages. You might wonder how much is too much to give away or portions you should retain. Many artists surrender 50% of their masters to producers and other writers who never really contribute financially or put effort into promoting the master recording. Moreover, artists often quarrel over publishing rights, not realizing that in the short run, these yield less than the masters. Now, I get it. You don't want to give away your publishing either, but you for sure don't want to give away your masters. You don't. And a lot of you all give away all of the change in the revenue coming from the masters. I know you don't have a lot of money in the beginning, but when you get some money, you need to keep as much of it as possible, right? There's a way that you give out those royalties. You don't just go giving it away willy-nilly. This video actually stems from a conversation that I had on one of my calls. Now, copyright negligence. Here's the next thing. Artists frequently neglect to copyright their music at the right times and for the appropriate purposes, leading to the all too common so-and-so stole my music scenario. Timely registration for copyright equips you with the leverage or legal leverage to combat infringement, giving you governmental support in fighting federal violations. Now, I say that to say that many attorneys won't get out of bed or give you the time of day for a work that has been stolen that hasn't been copywritten, because even though it is by default copywritten once you create it and you put it in a tangible form, whether it be an audio file, old school style on a CD, or whatever it is you do, point is, if there's no real proof that you did it by a certain date and they don't go by the postal service, they actually go by the federal document from the copyright.gov site, then they ain't getting out of bed for your case. It just is what it is. You get what I'm saying? Unless you got enough money to pay them. So they actually want to have that copyright registration done because they know that there is a $150,000 insurance bond already on the copyright registration. Boom. That's why you do it. You know what I'm saying? So, late business establishment. Many artists let others establish their business, which prevents them from understanding operational nuances and detecting potential deceit. Artists often allow others to register their songs, neglect essential registration checks, and even lose access to their royalty collection accounts. Okay? I don't believe in this because you know I'm about to talk about the 60-day record label that's on the right, the bottom right-hand side of this screen right now. I don't believe in that because you are, remember I said, you are by default, by de facto, the record label. There's nobody else there but you, the art. You own the stuff. And so the first thing you do is give away this. You don't copyright, and then you let somebody else handle the business stuff because you just want to be in the studio. If I wanted to take something from you, bruh, I just did it. I just did it. And you're going to tell me, all right, cool, man. It's cool with me. Anyway, now, what essential accounts do you need? Well, to simplify, you need a distribution account, a PRO account, mechanical collection accounts, and your digital master recording royalties, okay? Now, how much should you allocate from the master? As an independent artist owning your record label, never give away more than a total 25% share to any parties asking for a share. Have them split that 25%. I'm talking about producers, writers, executive producers, engineers, anybody that will be pulling from that master. 25% is what you're going to allot, period. That's it. Everybody got to eat from that, nothing more. You get what I'm saying? If they want something more than that, they got to go. Now, how does the 99% get ripped off? The answer lies in intellectual property. Your IP forms the foundation of your career. Without it, you're constructing a house of cards. So usually what happens is this. We know, like I said, that you have the copyright. By default, even if it's not registered, it still is yours. But the government has to recognize this for this even to go to federal court. So you need that. The next thing is not giving away ownership of the sucker in the beginning. You get what I'm saying? Oh man, that's my partner, man. I'm gonna give him, I'm gonna give him half, I'm gonna give him a little something. Nah, man, we're not doing that. No, because why? You are the de facto record label. So we can't give away our profit before we even get it in. Because once it comes in and you realize, oh man, I kind of gave them too much. That kind of got rid of my money. Well, now we not winning no more. You see what I'm saying? That's why I said 25%. That's how you got ripped off. Because the person who registered your business said, hey man, I got you. Don't worry about it. The producer said, hey man, let me get 50%. And they ain't have a clue what they were getting. They ain't gonna put no money up. So now you getting ripped off left and right. And then here come the publishers. Hey man, let me collect that for 15%, bro. I ain't about to do no work, but I need my collection fee. You know what I'm saying? And by then, you have already given away all the percentages that we talked about. That's how you got ripped off. You got ripped off because you didn't know the power of your intellectual property, which was the copyright in the first place. You didn't know how much money was going to come from that. But it's okay, because guess what? Casey got you covered. Because you are the de facto record label, and therefore we have to go and get your money. How are we going to do that, and how are you going to run it? I got you covered. Check it out. With this, the 60-day record label course, a framework to establish your record label in a perfect 60-day sequence. Learn how to set up your LLC and bank account flawlessly for base level anonymity to keep the prying eyes and hands out of your business. And then you're going to set up your records and publishing division for international royalty collection to keep the 15% middleman out of the pot. And then you're going to utilize the contracts inside of this course so that you can learn the game, how it works, and what you need to look out for before in 24 months, contracts are being thrown in your face with a bunch of money. And you're like, it looks good to me, right? We don't want to do that. So all this stuff that you see right here below is covered in the course. Plus much more. BMI, ASCAP, Sound Exchange, the MLC, Music Reports, Harry Fox, Luminate, All Music, ISRC.com, music distributors, and much more. For $275 or 5 easy payments of $55, I'm really giving you about $10,000 worth of game. And I'm condensing you into 2 months and for something that would take you 12 months to do. All right? So it's totally worth it. Anyway, book a call with me right here and let's develop your strategy either before or after you start the course. Doesn't matter. Either way, I'm going to get you in the game and download all the free stuff below if you want to get started quickly and this is your first time watching the show. Now, a successful turnaround looks like this for you when you're just getting started and you're trying not to get ripped off. Retaining your intellectual property increases cash flow, establishes a foundation for your growth, gives you more bargaining power for future deals, boosts career longevity, gives you better satisfaction from your career, and ultimately it removes you from this place of negligent actions leading to this: low returns on investment, lower bargaining power for negotiations, and stifling your future growth. Okay, so get back to this position right here because we want to be right here on top. All right. Ultimately, music money makers, if you study the way this industry works, if you look at some of the things that we talked about today, you really investigate it, you'll realize that that is what you need to successfully live long in your career. Even though it doesn't make a lot of money, I know. But the point is, if you make music, you should make money. So log on to musicmoneymakeover.com, jump into the 60-day record label course, download the free stuff below, book a call on musicmoneymakeover.com, and I'll see you next time. Peace.